Hey YouTube, this is Riley back again with kind of like a vlog of sorts. Um, this is about something that I don't talk about a whole lot, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm not too articulated. Um, okay, so about halfway through last year, I was diagnosed with a form of autism. And this is a form of autism that is very hard to diagnose in early years. Like, it really doesn't become apparent until late high school. It's called nonverbal learning disability. And the name is really misleading. The name makes it sound like I am not verbal, that I'm not good with language, when it's really quite the opposite. I'm best at languages. I excel quite tremendously at languages, but it's the non-linguistic subjects that excuse me, that baffle me. For example, math. Math is a big issue for me, and it has been for as long as I can remember. Basically, I'm in 12th grade, and I'm still doing 5th grade math. I can barely add and subtract without needing a calculator. My handwriting is downright atrocious because my spatial recognition is nigh non-existent. If you were to show me 3 objects of different sizes, they would look about all the same size. I might be able to detect minor differences, but not really. Like, it would mostly just be guessing. NLD is fairly new because up until maybe 10 years ago, it was just called Asperger's. But scientists have discovered that there's actually a lot of differences. Sorry, between Asperger's and NLD. They've also found that kids with NLD tend to suffer a lot more with self-image issues, with depression and anxiety, and for me, I had a lot of selective mutism when I was younger. When I was in classrooms or in other big social situations, I would just go completely silent. But I was very talkative around people I knew, so no one really thought much of it. I still kind of melt down if I get overstimulated. Like, if you were to throw me into a crowd of people I don't know, or if I was just at a party and I knew like 2 people there, I would just completely freeze up. Now, the worst thing about this disease is, well, I don't want to call it a disease, this disorder is when I try to describe it to people and people go, well, everyone does that, because it makes me feel like they're not, they aren't taking me seriously, or they don't believe me, which really hurts, because they don't see that I'm struggling, and that I want help. I'm sorry. And I just wanted to say it. I just wanted to put it out in the open. It's not something I can help if I forget things that you told me 5 minutes ago. I can't help it. If I forget someone's birthday or phone number, I can't. It's not my fault. I wish I could. I have almost no concept of time. Time for me is just so abstract, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it says it's 8:05 right now, and I'm just like, what does 8:05 mean? What is that? And it's the same with any kind of numbers. It's like 7 plus 11. Like, what is that? I'm sorry. I've suffered with depression since before I started this YouTube channel. I was really young when I got depressed for the first time because I was so different from the other kids, and they didn't like that. They would beat me up, they would abuse me, they would do horrible, horrible things to me. And I used to think it was my fault, that somehow I was the one in the wrong. But I know now that's not true. That none of the things that I did were my fault. Another big symptom of NLD is issues with social cues. I have a lot of difficulty reading tone of voice and reading facial expression. And I remember a few years back, someone was yelling at me, and I thought something they said sounded kind of funny, so I just started laughing. And I got so much, oh my god. I think now, I'm like, oh my god, I was such an idiot. And another thing I do that seems really, like, socially inept, if I'm getting bored, I'll just start snapping my fingers. Because I need something to do with my hands at all times, or else, like, I've been touching my face. And this one's really embarrassing. I'm almost 18 years old, and I still compulsively pick my nose, because A, it makes me feel clean, and B, it is just a habit I can't seem to crack. I've tried sitting on my hands, I've tried, like, putting hot sauce on my fingertips so it hurts, but I just can't stop myself, and it just, like, it grosses people out so much, and I'm just like, I managed to get it so that I just do it, like, if no one is around. Sometimes the urge comes up, and I'm just, like, praying that no one is looking at me. Oh my god. So, a lot of the times, it's just, I do a lot of really weird things. I've got weird habits. I've always spoken more advanced, and, like, I've always had more of a advanced vocabulary for my age group, and that got me picked on a lot. But it's not something I can help. It's just the way I am. And just because I'm autistic doesn't mean I'm dumb. It doesn't mean I'm non-functioning. By looking at me, you'd never guess the kind of mental struggles I face. Or just by talking to me, you'd never be able to guess what goes on in my brain. So, I just want everyone to take a step back and think, whenever you call a kid retarded, do you think, like, maybe that kid is like me and has autism or has OCD or has some mental faculty that is somehow deficient, and think how much that might hurt them? Because I got called retarded a lot, even before I was diagnosed, and I just remember it stung like nothing else. This is Riley signing out.